Thank you for tuning into our group discussion today. I am TRIZA and I am taking physical education as my minor subject, and I will be your moderator today. So, before we begin our discussion today, I will let our guest today, to introduce themselves first. So let's begin with our first guest.
Hi and hello everyone. My name is Vilma Via Alendra and you can call me Via. And I'm taking science as my minor subject.
Hi everyone, my name is FATHI and I take physical education as minor subject in degree education.
So, since all of our guests has already introduced themselves, let's begin with our first question today. So, our first question today is about how has learning this subject helped you in your daily life? So, let's begin with our first guest, Via.
Thank you, Sika, for giving me such a wonderful question. So the question is how science helped me in my daily life. First of all, science helped me to understand the world around me, which is I no longer see things the way they are, but instead I try to understand why and how it happened. For example, when I saw a rainbow, I no longer think about the old fairy tale anymore. You know, about the one that said that there's a gold pot at the end of the rainbow. When I was younger, I used to imagine that one day I will find the pot of gold. You know how silly it is? But now, after taking science, now I understand that a rainbow is actually happen because of the refraction and reflection of light in the water. It's not a magic, it's a science. When the sunlight enters the raindrops, it bends and reflects and then comes out again, splitting into a more beautiful color. Knowing this makes me appreciate more about nature around us, because something that once seems like a mystery now become a real scientific wonder.
Thank you for giving part of this podcast. I can elaborate about physical education for my minor subject. Learning physical education has made a significant impact on my daily life. It helps me develop not only physical fitness but also mental discipline and emotional balance. Through this subject, I have learned so many how essential regular exercise in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. For example, after understanding the importance of cardiovascular endurance for my physical education subject, I started jogging every day morning to improve my stamina and concentration during class. Physical education also encouraged to make better lifestyle choices. I now pay attention to my nutrition and hydration about mineral water and take part of food. And I have reduced unhealthy habits like consuming junk food, like potato, potato like junk food, and candy sugar. Moreover, I have learned about proper posture, warm-up routines, and injury prevention, which is a skill I can apply during any physical activity, even outside school.
Wow.
Most importantly, in my physical education subject has taught me the value of teamwork, respect, and sportsmanship. Whether I'm playing futsal, badminton, or participating in a relay race, I have learned how many to communicate with everyone effectively and support my teammates. This lesson that they help me to collaborate better in group project and maintain positive relationship with others people. That's my point.
From Fatih, I can see that physical education has helped you not only with fitness, but also you have mentioned like teamwork, discipline, and collaboration with teamwork. You, you I like that you highlight the mindset change too. Because and resilience is just as important as being strong physically.
Yes, that's true.
No, I think that's
Now,
my elaboration for
first
this
question.
first question is very nice and completely to understand.
Our next question is, what positive
Wow, this question is very interesting. You know, when I'm taking science, we have three separate branch, which is chemistry, physics, and also biology. This is my first time learning biology. I'm taking science stream in my high school, but I didn't take biology. So this is my first time taking biology, and I find it is really interesting to understand about your own body. Because when you understand about your own body, even when you are sleeping, it is you will know what is good and what is bad for your body, and you will start taking care of everything that you eat and do with your body seriously. For example, before this, I don't really like drinking water. But now, when I understand how important it is for water to remove our toxic waste inside our body, and what will happen if you don't really drink a lot of water, I start to drink a lot. I start to taking 2 liter water per day. I start to drink much more water than before this. Other than that, I also can give advice to everyone around me to make sure they are taking care of their own body too. For example, when I understand what will happen to your heart when you keep smoking, then I can give awareness to my family so they can stop smoking. So I think taking science give a huge benefit, especially to your health.
Wow, that's such a very interesting reflection. Yeah, I really like how you connected science with something we all used to believe as the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows how learning helps us see the world in a deeper and more meaningful way, not just through imagination, but through real life.
I think I also want to add some point other than healthy mindset. I think science also helped me in building my problem solving skills. Yes, because you know when you are taking science, you cannot run from taking experiment. So science, this will involve experiment or real life application, and this can help me to develop a scientific systematic approach of solving problem. For example, like observing, making hypotheses, testing, and refining. And when something is not working, like when my experiment fail or my data is not synchronizing or not accurate, instead of giving up, I try to make it synchronize with each other. I think that's the plus point when you are taking science subject.
That's such a very. So, Fatih?
For I continue my second question.
Ah,
Are you guys agree with me that science and physical education has combined same
yeah,
Have similar.
yeah,
similar
similar.
information,
Yeah.
right? In my second question, what a positive change have you noticed in yourself after taking this elective, right? For my perspective, after taking physical education as my elective subject, I have noticed several positive transformation in myself. Physically, I have become stronger and more energetic. My endurance has improved and I can now run longer distance without feeling restless. And my coordination and flexibility have also developed. Mentally, I have become more focused and confident. Physical education active requires self-discipline, strategic thinking, and goal setting, qualities that also help me in my academic performance. For instance, the consistency I developed through weekly training session now help me stay organized and committed when completing my assignment. For in my in my perspective, I have training ping pong,
Ping pong.
and then that sport can relatable to my academic achievement because it helped me to discipline in my work and concentrate in everywhere I can stand with my work and everywhere. And then for part of emotionally, I have learned how to manage stress and frustration better. Engage in my physical activities like volleyball or aerobic activities help me release tension and maintain a positive mindset. Have also grown more resilient. I have learned that losing a game doesn't mean failure, but rather an opportunity to improve myself.
So for me, learning physical education, especially in luar, has really changed my perspective on how important it is to stay active, both physically and also mentally. Before this, I used to think PJ is only about sport, but when I taking physical education as my minor subject, I realized that BJ is much more important than that.
Yeah.
It is about learning life skills, discipline, teamwork, and also appreciating nature. For example, last week I have joined Pendidikan Luar. So one of our activities is swimming, which swimming helped me to encourage my fear because I am scared of deep water because I don't know how to swim. At first, I was nervous. Yeah, I was super nervous, but through the encouragement from my friends, from our instructor, from our lecture, it helped me to be more brave, being at the water. Another meaningful activity that I was having in my pendidikan luar is walking alone in the forest by handing
By using
by
candles.
using a candle. Through this,
Wow.
yeah, it is a very
Wonderful
wonderful
experience.
experience. That is my from all activities that we have. That is such a very the most favorite part. Of my pendidikan luar. Uh, by these activities, it taught me that I have to trust myself because working alone at the forest, I only have myself and the candle. So it taught me that we must trust ourselves to do anything.
No.
Yeah. So from this experience, I have become more confident and independent in my daily life. I am no longer afraid of challenges because I have learned how to face it through these activities.
Wow, you
Yeah.
have such a wonderful experience during your pendidikan luar.
It's very wonderful.
I think both of you and Fatih go to the pendidikan luar, right? Because you take the same elective. Wow, good job for you guys.
So, in conclusion, learning PJ didn't just help me stay fit, but it helped me to develop healthier mindset. Yeah.
Such a good point.
Okay, you guys have any point to add for this question?
I can add some point for the question. In my socially, I have become more cooperative and respectful toward others. Working in teams has strengthened my communication skill and leadership qualities. Before this, my communication is very bad, and I started learn in physical education. I can improve my communication skill with others, and I'm now more aware of the importance of empathy and inclusiveness, especially when playing with classmates or different skill levels. Overall, I can conclude that physical education nurture me holistically, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. Meaning that physical education teach me how to separate my life in different way, like physically, emotionally, and others that I can learn about myself. and turning me into a more balanced and confident individual in my life.
That's such a good addition to your point also, Fatih. So it means that by taking this elective, taking your apa, taking your minor subject, minor subject which is physical education, has really helped you to communicate well, to socialize with others well, through your teamwork and through your activities. So let's move to the next question, which is what advice would you give to students choosing the elective subject next year?
My advice for anyone who are taking the elective next year is please choose your subject according to your passion. Because learning is about something that you like, because it will totally make the studying process become more exciting and meaningful when you really like the subject. Don't choose your subject, your minor subject, because of your friend. Because they want to choose it, then you want to choose it too. Because it will give a very huge impact to your pointer if you can't score it very well. Okay, last but not least, learning is always an interesting journey, because every piece of knowledge we gain will totally become a valuable preparation for our future. That's my advice for anyone who are taking the elective next year.
Thank you for this advice for science explanation about give student choosing their elective subjects next year. In my perspective, I really like to give my advice to student who will be choosing their elective is select something that truly aligns with their interests and future goals. In my perspective, I don't like to blame like history is bad, physical education is bad, science is bad. No, because overall subject
Has their
their
own
interesting part
interesting part.
and chances to become more compete in uh other than future, because we as teachers can be in a history teachers and science teacher, that every subject have their
On interesting part.
yes. And then if you enjoy being active, working in teams and learning about health and fitness, uh, I pursue to choose physical education is an excellent choices. Many students assume physical education is only about playing games, but it actually teach valuable lifelong skills. You will learn about anatomy, like same to science, but maybe in sport science, and body mechanic, nutrition, food, first aid, and control our stress. All of this, for example, understanding how your muscle work can prevent injuries, and learning basic CPR could one day help save someone's life. Like when we take physical education, you just not playing like football, training for jogging. Like you can also learn about science, sport science that relatable to science subject. I think that's all for my perspective about choosing the elective subject for students.
So for me, I can honestly say that I have truly changed a lot after taking this elective. One of my biggest, one of my, one of my biggest positive change is I become more confident. It has boosted my self-confidence, like throughout the activities that I just mentioned before this. I have learned by this activity. I have learned something new. Like actually, I can do that things. I am more capable am more capable to do myself, especially when things that I'm seeing look difficult or unfamiliar. But after completing those challenges, I started to believe in myself more. And another positive change that I saw in myself is my mental strength. The candle activities, for example, it has really helped me to reflect on my emotions and also my fears. Walking alone in the darkness uh, taught me courage, patience, and also self-control. It made me realize that from that peace don't come with being around people, but sometimes it is when we are alone and being ourselves. So physically, I've become more active and healthy. I sleep better, I eat better, and I am more motivated to move around. Emotionally, I've become calmer and more positive. I don't panic easily, and because PJ has taught me to stay focused and also to work under pressure.
Understand?
Yeah. Overall, the positive changes I see in my life are just not physically, but also emotionally. Yeah. So that is my point on how this elective has changed my has
Life.
affect my life. Yeah. Thank you, yeah. That's such a very meaningful advice. Choosing a subject based on passion is really important. Right?
Yes. I think everyone must agree with that.
Yeah, I also agree with you with that because we cannot choose our elective subject just because our friend is there.
Yes. You need to learn to live on your own.
Yeah, and also I like what you said, which is learning is a journey.
Yes, it's a
Yeah, and every lesson prepares us for the future. You clearly explained that future is not about playing games, but it's also about learning life skills and building happy things. So, advice from me is, I think I also have the same advice as for Dia, which is choose a elective subject that you will you will that you can score well, not because your friend is there, but choose elective subject that will not pressure you. Yeah. So when you enjoy your subject, getting the good grade will come naturally.
Yes, that's true.
So guys, I think we have
Come to the end of our podcast. Yay! Thank you for listening.
to our
Podcast.
podcast.
Bye bye. See you next time.
I think we have
Come to the end of our podcast.
Yay!
Thank you for listening.
To our
Podcast. Bye bye. See you next time.
Thank you for to our podcast.
Bye bye.
See you.
Next time.